Still manually sucker them, still manually top them. Yes, you may run a mechanical topper to get the bulk on, but at some point in time, somebody's gonna come along in here and they're gonna
put their hands on this plant.
All by hand.
Still.
Yep, but here's the sucker right here. And you see, he's already piled up no further than he's been.
And how much acreage here is this plot?
But this little field right here, maybe 5 acres, this little field right here. They're getting ready to tie this one up.
Okay.
So it's at 775 pounds. They're gonna put the wires around it now.
Okay.
But it all started right across that field over yonder where you see that little white barn way over yonder.
Yeah.
It all started there, right there.
Peanut Growers Association says we got the filet mignon of peanuts.
Filet mignon of peanuts.
Filet mignon of peanuts.
That's Southern caviar right there.
That's
I
what we
love
grow
it.
in North Carolina.
I love it. Hey everybody, so wanted to get into the video here. You're probably wondering where in the world am I at? I'm in eastern North Carolina in Wilson. This is downtown Wilson, which is and was formerly a major hub for tobacco production in the United States, and especially North Carolina, where they rank first on tobacco production and export. And so thought this would be the best place in the current state of the tobacco industry for me to do a video, because where I grew up, a little further south, you don't see many tobacco fields anymore thanks to development, you know, urban sprawl coming out from Raleigh, and there's just not many people doing it anymore. They're dying, and their children are selling off their properties, and they're no longer interested in it for a variety of reasons. So we're going to get into that today, but I have so many good memories as a child growing up on a tobacco farm, and it's just always been something that's interested me. And it's been 40 years since I've been in that position of knowing what tobacco was like, and it's changed a great deal, I'm sure. And so today I'm meeting up with a multi-generational farmer, Kevin Gardner of Gardner Farms in Macclesfield, just outside of Wilson. And he's going to take me from the start of the process, from a seedling, starting out in the greenhouse, and taking that tobacco plant all the way to the point to where it's being harvested and cured and then sold in warehouses, which would primarily be here in Wilson. And so that's how it ends up with the tobacco companies. They're basically buying up the tobacco that he's producing right out of the field here. So a lot has changed since my days of being involved in tobacco, and I wanted to see him explain what's changed and why it's changed, the current state of tobacco, and especially here in North Carolina, and where he thinks it may be headed, or the impact on the area, and a variety of other topics. So before we meet Kevin, we're going to come down to Whirligig Park right here in downtown Wilson. If you've never been there, you should check it out. It's really interesting, it has a cool little storyline behind it, and just thought it might be something worth checking out. After that, we're going to go see Kevin, and he's going to take us through the whole entire process. right, brother. Give me the rundown. What we doing here?
Right now, we're just bagging up boiled peanuts. We're gonna put them in the freezer. We're gonna eat them all with it.
So what kind of operation you got going on? Is it just, it's not tobacco obviously only?
Oh, let's see. We raise tobacco, corn, cotton, beans, wheat, peanuts, cucumbers, 7 different types of peppers. This is my cousin Adam. We farm together. That's his daddy, and that's his boy.
Okay.
John, James, his wife Pam. My daddy running right here somewhere on the forklift.
And you said he's famous, right?
He's famous. He's on the. Every week you can hear him at the NC State football game and on the radio during the football game.
Oh, okay.
What? NC Peanut Association, something like that?
Yeah.
Peanut Grower Association, North Carolina.
Association, North Carolina.
Well, it looks mighty good. So what kind of process is involved here?
Well, it's just green peanuts out the field, picked, washed. Boiled them yesterday afternoon for 3 or 4 hours. Really, the only thing you put in there is peanuts and salt and water, and we let ours soak. That way the juice goes back into the hull.
Right, right.
And then we do sell them boiled already.
Okay.
We sell them green if you want to boil them yourself.
This isn't like the first thing that come to mind as far as North Carolina agriculture, though. Peanuts, you kind of hear that. What's Georgia?
Georgia, yeah.
You know, Jimmy Carter and all that. They were
I
big
saw
on
something
peanuts.
they called them
Georgia
Southern.
grows a runner peanut most of the time, not a
Yep.
Virginia.
Okay.
Our peanut's bigger.
It's gonna be a lot bigger. Where,
I got you.
A runner peanut's gonna be a small peanut like that. We want a larger peanut like
If
this.
anybody's ever bought the peanut packs, peanuts out the grocery store, that's a runner peanut from down south.
Okay.
Ours are bigger peanuts. Ours are really for salted and sugar.
As Mr. Ashley Collins with the Peanut Grower Association says, we got the filet mignon of peanuts.
Filet mignon of peanuts.
Filet mignon of peanuts.
That's Southern caviar right there.
That's
I
what we
love
grow
it.
in North Carolina.
I love it.
He only cooks them on. He does all the cooking. He done them on Friday. Bag them up Friday afternoon, Saturday, whenever they cool. Let them soak in the water for a while.
So what's the process? When do they go in the ground? When you put them in the ground, and then how long does it take for them to get ready to pull out of the ground?
We start planting peanuts around the 1st to 5th of May,
Okay.
and we've been digging peanuts for a month now for boiling.
Okay.
So
And this is the end result. All
we
right.
probably got another
2 weeks.
2-3 weeks of them.
Great, great,
Hopefully.
great. Okay. So what's your big? I guess tobacco's your main thing, right? Is that
The fine main thing,
what butters your bread?
produce.
Produce.
Absolutely.
And that shifted probably, huh?
Yes.
Over the years.
Yes.
Okay.
The tobacco market is not what it used to be.
Right. Yeah.
It's still. How do I put this? It's still a good cash flow crop.
Okay.
You can watch it come in and watch it go out. You don't get to keep much out with that no more.
Right.
It looks good on a balance sheet.
There you
Yeah.
go.
So how long have you had? I know you said it's probably in the 40s. I guess it was your father that started this.
We always say Grandpa started in '46 when he married Grandma after the war.
Okay.
That's what the sign says, established in '46. And Grandpa farmed all his life. My daddy, his daddy, and my Uncle Edward, who passed away in 19. They all farmed together all their lives, and here we are doing it.
Great, man. Great. Well, let's get into the tobacco, I guess.
February the 15th. February, what's Valentine's Day? 14th. February 14th.
Right.
That's when most people shoot to see the greenhouse. We're a little bit earlier now. We always go somewhere around the 2nd, 3rd, 4th when we start seeding.
And that's put them in the greenhouse.
That's put them in the
How many
greenhouse.
square footage you have to basically get your operation up to where you want it?
We have about 40,000 square foot of greenhouse space for our 500 acres.
And that yields how many acres of land of tobacco?
That's our 500 acres of tobacco.
Okay.
And
That's pretty big
man,
operation.
I wish I could show them the seed. You're going to have to come back when we are seeding because it's a little. The seed is coated in a clay-like material.
Okay.
That's the only way you can see it because it's so small.
Is that small?
It's so small you can never, if it wasn't coated. But
And then you just go through them and take the best ones that have gotten to a certain point. I'm sure there's some that you have to toss
so
out.
that's
or no?
from back in the day. When
Okay.
you used to have plant beds. You went in there and picked out the better ones. Then you come back and you cut them again. You come back and cut them again.
Right.
Not no more. Now you can just mow them with a lawnmower, like you mow your grass in your yard,
Really?
and get them all to the same level.
And how do you do that in a greenhouse? Like
It's on a rail.
it's on a rail?
And
Okay.
it's literally go to Lowe's, Home Depot, local hardware store, wherever, and buy you a 18-inch push mower.
Yep.
Knock the wheels off of it. Make sure it's a bagging mower, and they have real type
That
mowers.
has changed a whole lot.
Yeah. They do make real type mowers now. We don't have them. We
Okay.
use
And then once it gets out of the greenhouse,
it goes straight to the field. They're put in trays, 338 seat per tray.
yeah.
You hope for a 97-8% stand. It goes straight into the field. Generally 10th, 12th, 15th April. A lot of people start. Some people a little earlier, some people a little later. April 15th is what they call our last frost-free day. So that's when a lot of people shoot for.
Okay. Okay.
It's in the field in April. Start harvesting again varies, but 4th of July.
4th of July.
You know, some people are a little bit earlier in June. Some people a little bit later than 4th of July. I think this year we started June 30th, something like that. We pull all of them with 2 lines out right here in the barn. That's what these 2 guys do. Then they'll pick it up with the plate on the front of the forklift there.
Okay.
But it's been in this barn for 8 days. It started out outside temperature with just a fan blowing on it, and gradually increase the temperature to make the color change, make it turn the color we want it. Then you run it up to about 160, 65 degrees to dry the leaf.
Okay.
And it dries that stem down. But then, because that stem was as big as your thumb, and now it's dried down.
Okay.
But no, we dry it down with 165 degree heat. And then the night before we take it out, we put water back in it.
Oh, really?
So it's not so dry that it crumbles in your hand. Because if you don't put no water to
Well,
it,
then it makes it hard to transport, and you get it there, right?
well, if you don't, it'll crumble in your hands when you take it out because it's so dry.
Right. Okay.
But they'll pick it up, carry it up yonder to the takeout system,
Okay.
and then we'll go back up.
So that's
there.
what you call takeout, what we were just looking at.
Up there is what we call taking out.
Okay. Got it.
Priming, stripping. Priming when you're running hand crews, or I'm gonna call them green machines, your multi-pass machines. A lot of people change the name to stripping when you start running the brown machines and
Right.
tipping heads and all that. So
Okay.
just jargon. That's all it is.
Yeah, everybody has their own terminology,
That's
right?
right.
Well, what's different in the process? I mean, I mentioned to you on the phone about using forks, and now you
All right.
said
Well,
you
if you're talking about forks, they were old rack barns,
Okay.
and
Those barns look similar to these, though, right?
those 2 barns down yonder, 22 and 21, were rack barns that were converted to box barns.
Okay, I got you. So it's just the interior, the boxes
That's right.
that
Just
have changed.
So, depending on, we had some rack barns that were 2-tier barns, 3-tier barns. So you had 2 levels of racks or 3 levels of racks.
Okay.
Without a rack to show you, I don't know where you'd find one unless somebody was still using a rack barn. Because most people throw them in the scrapyard.
Right, right. Okay.
It's going to be hard to explain, but
But that smell, man, is just something that, whoo,
if you could put it in a candle,
I know it.
we'd be millionaires.
Like that brings back a lot. I think he smells like your strongest sense.
Rob Sharkey, Shark Farmer, he's on RFD TV.
Uh-huh.
He's out in Illinois, Iowa, somewhere out there. They always talk about how good drying corn smells. It stinks to me, but they say it smells good. Well, he finally came to North Carolina. I think he went to Brandon Batten's place. And he's like, man, this smells so much better than drying corn. So, you know, he's put on these rails right here.
Okay.
This baling system is, I'm gonna call it fully automatic, because all the belts are controlled by the computer system, the weights and the packing and all that.
What year did this type of machinery start rolling out?
Woo!
Because I don't ever remember seeing anything like this. You know what?
We've had this thing probably since 2010, probably.
Okay.
Maybe
Now-
a little sooner, or a little earlier.
Okay, so I'll tell you what I used to experience, which was they put a metal cylinder, they throw the tobacco in it, you get it and stomp it down.
Yep.
That's what I remember. I remember actually being thrown into that thing,
Sheeting up the bike.
shooting up tobacco.
We never had metal rings, we always had plastic rings. But
Okay.
I remember. And I always wanted to be the one that got inside and walked until I realized you won't do nothing but walking.
That's right.
You know, you spend all day walking.
That's right.
Oh.
It gave me something to do as a child, though. You know, they just threw you in there.
But I
But
won't
this
hold
is, so
it.
this has changed. This is 2010 machinery, right?
I'm gonna say these started in late 08, 09, 10, somewhere in there. We got this thing. It was just coming along then. Now the baler, they've probably been around since the mid to late 90s.
Okay. Yeah, this is stuff that I have never seen. So this
Did
is
and them built our first. Shoot, they built all the balers we've ever used up until this one.
okay. So explain how this process works. Or what are these guys doing?
Well, I showed you a while ago. They pulled all the pins but a few.
Right. So they come out of the barn just like that.
And little Ricky here, he's gonna gradually pull the pins just to make enough microfalls so the belt stays full all the time.
Okay.
This paddle is gonna keep it beat back, so it ain't gonna be with so much of a layer that goes through.
Okay.
They're picking out any imperfections.
What do you consider an imperfection? A hole in the leaf, or?
No. A burn up leaf, a black leaf, brown leaf, green leaf.
Okay.
If they happen to have a swell stem, they pull it out. Any grass, weeds.
Anything
What
that might have gotten in
what they call NTRM, non-tobacco related materials. Grass, weeds. There's no trash in there. I mean,
So they're just cleaning it all out, and then they're getting it ready to go into
and
that.
they're picking the grate. They're just picking it out. Anything bad, and nothing goes to waste. Again, they're picking out stalks, which is part of the NTRM. They're picking out brown leaves, but it doesn't go to waste.
Okay.
They put the dark brown leaves and the I'm gonna call it imperfect leaves, but less desirable leaves go in here. Then they put the stalks in there, they'll be thrown away.
Okay.
This will not be. This will be baled up and sold for cut rate. Tobacco companies hound you about how pretty your tobacco is when you go in and sell it. Oh, it's got to be the right color line and all this and that. But however, that right there is gonna go in a cigarette too. It's gonna go right in the cigarette. It's gonna be mixed in just like everything else.
Okay.
This tumbler here, it's not turning right now because everything's stopped. They're tying up a bill. They're getting ready to tie this one up.
Okay.
So it's at 775 pounds. They're gonna put the wires around it now.
Okay.
Where your sheet used to weigh 225, 250 if you were lucky. 775.
How many acres, like what fraction of the farmland would take to produce one bale like that? Can you do that math in your head?
I hope to make 2,750 pounds a day.
Okay.
So that's what, a third of a fourth.
That's
700
tight,
times 4 is 28, right? Well, 7 times 4 is 28, right?
That's awesome, man. That's cool.
Or we'll just pick out, some dead on the top, clean it up a little bit. It's all about presentation when it goes to the warehouse.
It is in everything in life these days.
It's got to be the right color line and can't be too trashy.
So you are, you're his father, right? What's your name?
Joe.
Joe. Nice to meet you, Joe. I'm Jamie. Nice to meet you.
What kind of documentary you doing?
Well, just tobacco. I told him that I grew up in tobacco, Johnston County. My uncle did it. I remember riding him on the truck to the market at Smithfield, but I was probably, 5, 6 years old. Like, I vaguely remember it, and I just thought, you know what, this is an interesting thing to see how the process has changed.
I can remember back when my daddy was born. You stepped on a leaf of tobacco, you got your tail covered.
I don't think that's R-rated there. I think that'd be all right.
I mean,
It's just the gospel, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how
They all but ironed it before they carried it to the warehouse.
Yes.
It's full
That's-
peanut time. Some southern caviar.
All right, brother. Sounds good to me.
See, there's a bale of cut rag right there.
Okay. Yeah.
And to tell you how screwed up the tobacco market is, they just soon buy this and they had to buy that over yonder.
Yep.
Really?
Yep. See, this is a homemade baler we used to use.
Okay.
Double-sided baler.
Okay.
We used this, actually we used, no, we had that horizontal baler for several years before we went to this system. They outlawed the horizontal baler. We built a mini bell up in them.
Back when I was small, everything primed by hand. Loop, put on a stick, hung it in a rack. You hung it in a rack, then you carried it late that afternoon, you hung it in the barn.
Okay.
And back then, you put the barn in on a Monday, you put that same barn back in on Monday. Because when you went to the field, you didn't prime it right. It better be yellow, or did it flap your tail.
That's twice he's heard that, ain't it?
And first of all, back then, walking around the barn and everything, there's a leaf of bark on the ground, you better step on it. I've had my tail popped many times, stepping on one leaf of bark.
And they literally pressed the tobacco back in the day.
And back down then, if you had 14 acres of bark, you thought you did. What do you mean, did he raise Sam Youngers on about 7 acres of bark? Now the boys are 10 and 470 acres of bark, barely making a living.
So I was looking up online, it said that I think in 2000, they said tobacco farmers in North Carolina have gone from like 8,000 to down to like 2,000.
I wouldn't be surprised.
What's the reason? Is it because demand has changed, or is it because you're getting imports from other countries? Like, what's causing it to dwindle? Is it just the tech moving in, agriculture moving out? What's y'all's thoughts
The
on that?
age of the American farmer is one. So many have retired.
Then another thing.
When it comes to tobacco regulations,
But that's a lot, those 6,000 farm reductions in 25 years, that's a lot of farms.
I'd be surprised that 2,000 of us left.
Well, a lot of your farmers got out when the tobacco buyout happened in 2004. So you lost a bunch at that point in time. They got some money off the tobacco
Can you repeat
buyout.
what he's saying?
He said a lot of them got out in 2004 when the tobacco buyout happened,
Okay.
which is, we used to own our tobacco pounds, and then the government bought them from us and done away with all government support.
Okay. And what was the reasoning for that, for them?
To get government out of the tobacco.
Yeah, because tobacco was a terrible thing, is a terrible thing, whatever you want to call it.
Right. Well, that could be anything, right? That Pepsi Cola that you're drinking,
Yep.
that could be
All right.
alcohol, that could be anything you want.
And I'm going to speak to the tobacco companies on this one.
Okay.
The biggest exodus of the tobacco market in the last 10 years has been because of gas. Farmers just don't want to deal with the BS associated with gas. Good agricultural practices.
Okay, so that's an acronym.
Yeah, good agricultural practice is what it stands for. That's your
Okay.
biggest exodus.
First of all,
The regulations are going to push you out.
First of all,
and
what
labor.
us done before was one of y'all showed Brazil how
And
to
show
raise
Brazil how to raise it. Now they're our
corn.
competition. They can put it in the.
So there is global competition for this now. Is that what you're saying, Brazil?
Oh yeah, United States crop. It might be 400 million pounds. Might be. Brazil's going to be 600 million kilos. So
And what do you think
12,
the reason
14,
for that
15
is? Do you think it's because the bureaucracy in the United States has gotten in the way of people being able to profit enough on it to make it worth their while, and they're able to source it from another country because it's cheaper labor, less red tape?
they pay 50 cents a day labor in Brazil. I mean, it might not be 50 cents a day labor, but it's pennies on the dollar to what we have to pay here.
So it's
They can raise it so much cheaper without government regulations. They for years and years and years they've been trying to get rid of the tobacco farm,
okay.
and they've tried to do it different ways. But they have figured it out now with this labor deal.
Even though that there's a consumption here for it, there's a demand for it, right?
It's the first thing we ever traded. First product from America that was traded overseas. If you talk to anybody in the tobacco industry, North Carolina has the best flue-cured tobacco in the world, hands down. Smokes the best flavor, best taste. But they tell you real quick, for the price difference between us and Brazil, Brazil's good enough.
Good enough, right?
Good enough. Zimbabwe raises a lot of tobacco.
So-
China has a lot of tobacco.
Do you talk to other people in other states that farm tobacco? I was reading online that North Carolina is ranking second now behind Kentucky. Is that what you're hearing, or I mean, this is Tobacco Road, right? This is where it all started.
Kentucky's going to be Burley. Completely different style.
It's a different style of tobacco.
75-mile circle where we standing. 90% of flue-cured tobacco in the country is grown. Within 100 miles of here, 90% of flue-cured tobacco is grown. Burley's a whole lot different. I can't tell you about Burley other than they cut the whole stalk. It stays in the field for a few days, and then.
All I know is if you turn around, you don't know if you can see it or not. But it all started right across that field over yonder where you see that little white barn way over yonder.
Yeah.
It all started there, right there.
So Wilson County, the biggest tobacco producing county.
I don't know.
That's based on what I've researched. It said Wilson County was the #1 producing in the state. Now I don't know if that's national, based on
If
this
it's
style
the
of
biggest
tobacco.
one in the state, it's going to be the biggest one nationally.
Johnson is good for tobacco. Wilson is the biggest tobacco
Market.
but they're not the biggest grower.
Okay. So what other counties around here do tobacco farming? I know Johnston County does a little bit, Sampson County.
Yeah, I don't know a county that don't have it east of Raleigh.
Okay.
There may be some different variation of acres,
But the markets, where the exchanges, as they like to say, right? Predominantly in Wilson.
everybody's got a hold in Wilson. Oxford's got a few houses. I don't know if there's any left in Smithfield or not. I don't think there's any in Goldsboro.
They've turned those into flea markets in Smithfield.
I was born in '48, so in the '50s when we were coming up, we treated it with kid gloves. I mean,
No breaking the leaves,
no,
right?
don't break a leaf, don't bruise it, don't do anything.
What happened if you stepped on it?
You got to whip it.
Now, what is it that you do, sir?
What now?
Yeah. Well, you're retired, I'm sure, but what's your background? Farming?
Yes, I farmed for 13 years after I got out of service.
Okay.
And then I went to work in the pharmaceutical.
Appreciate your service. What branch were you in?
Coast Guard.
Okay. Awesome. That's the one you don't hear a whole lot, right?
Yeah. But I think this time of the year, when school started, we would be grading tobacco.
Okay.
I remember my mom sitting in the what we called the grading room and had a bench in front of her, and you had like 3 grades: good, middle, and trash.
Right.
And it was every leaf was handled, spread out, and it was tied in bundles and pressed out on a pressing board, and you just.
That's when people cared about what they smoked, right? The taste of it and all that.
Yeah.
Nowadays, based on what he was telling me.
I don't know if it's so much they cared about what they smoked, but it's just
The companies don't care what they sell them,
different back then.
right?
Tobacco companies were different back then.
Yeah.
But you know, tobacco was a money crop, so you treated it as such.
Yeah, you used to make a living off of it.
So was tobacco the main crop in your time
Yes, sir.
coming along? That was the main
Yes, sir.
North Carolina agricultural crop.
I'm gonna say tobacco was the main crop up until the buyout in '04.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
That killed it.
Tobacco was most farms' main crop up until the buyout in '04. It ain't ours. It ain't our big money maker.
You was more diversified than most of them too. But back in the day, about the only thing we raised was corn, and that was used to feed the livestock. You know, we had hogs and chickens, and cows. You know,
Not
And it
for
went in
human
the crib.
consumption, right?
yeah, that's right.
On the cob.
On the cow.
Back in when Diddy and them, you come along, it was handled like a newborn baby. Tobacco was handled like a newborn baby.
Well, that's the case. Most people take pride in what they do, right? And that's the way it ought
And
to be.
it's still the same way, but it's just different.
It's different. Yes.
And a lot of people have gone back to hand priming.
Yeah. Now,
To each their own on that.
so when you say cropping, you know, people that ain't
Priming,
from around here,
cropping.
they think picking. When you say picking, they know you don't know anything about tobacco, right? It's cropping. Is that right?
Being in your back.
Priming, cropping, picking, it's all the same thing.
Right.
It's just
That's how
whatever
you
terminology you want to use.
Right.
You know, in the Midwest, they shell corn. We pick corn here. We got the same machine doing the same job. You know.
Oh man, I love it.
We were just on the other side a while ago, but there they are picking again. They must be in the front box. That's why they found a bunch of swells. These really could have cooked another day, but tomorrow's Sunday, so we had to wait till Monday. And that's a day of putting in at a time of the year that we don't have time to wait for another day. We'll put them in the top of a barn, they'll dry right back out, and when we take that barn out, it'll be ready again. But this box is coming up this conveyor, it's going in here. I don't know if you can see it or not. But ain't nothing but a big drum spinning.
Okay.
And it's beating the brown edges off of this, so it'll beat that off.
It'll beat that off.
It'll
Okay.
beat it off. You see it collects under this collection tray right here. It also, when you're doing lugs, which is the first priming,
Yeah.
it'll get the dirt out of it too. It's called a sand reel. But,
Okay.
as I told you, we don't waste nothing around here. The bells are gonna be your premium cigarettes.
Right.
The cut rag is gonna be your lower end cigarette. And the lower end is more cut rags.
So this is
Less
considered a lower grade product.
And this is the lowest of the lows. This is your, I don't know, if Marlboro's are $5 a pack, these are your $1 pack of cigarettes.
Okay.
But again, I mean, it just continues, it just changes angles to go back to the baler. But there's more conveyors. More conveyors.
And then that just takes it up to the baler.
And it takes it up to the baler. And like I say, it's all automatic.
So are these guys cleaning out here too?
Everybody's picking out. They're looking for, like I say, swell stems, brown leaves, black leaves, green leaves, anything NTRM.
So they're picking out things that maybe were missed at the first.
Correct.
Is that right?
Correct. You can remember back when y'all did it with the sheets. You brought the sheets in here.
Very similar thing here, right?
The bottom sheet was on the ground. Every other, I mean, it was face up. Every other sheet was flipped over, so they wouldn't dry out, right?
Yep.
You heard Mr. Rodney talking about a while ago the grading room. You know,
Yeah.
this is where we grade ours, and that's going to go one tobacco company. We're actually loading a trailer for another tobacco company right now, and then, you know, pickings and
That's awesome, man.
the giblets and everything else.
That's gonna be a lost art form one day, man.
It's gone now, I think. It just,
Disappearing.
I don't know. It ain't. It's disgusting to work, and then you get up there and there's always something wrong with it. And it's all market driven, economics, all factors into it. I know that. China's not here right now, and people are gonna want to bash Trump because China left, but Trump's gonna do what he's got to do to get the country right. So how do you get mad with him over that? We're taking it on the chin, but I should be the one mad, but I'd vote for him again tomorrow.
Well, you got
For the betterment of the entire country, you know?
right.
But you're taking a beating on the biker because China's not here, so the prices have dropped on everything. Corn market's off, bean market's off, every market's off. You're scraping to get by. Prices super inflated during Corona. Now they haven't receded. The input prices are through the roof. So we were talking about the tobacco greenhouses earlier.
Yeah.
You know, they're not in operation, but you can get an idea of them.
Okay.
The grass is coming in here. This will all be cleaned up when we put the plants back in here, but the black plastic here is just like a swimming pool liner. Really, you know.
Okay.
That's all they are is 6, 8 inch deep.
So is it just
Swimming
is this
pools.
basically aquaponics that grows the tobacco?
Hydroponics.
Hydroponics, sorry.
Hydroponics, yes.
Okay.
Yes, they float in water all the time.
And this where you said you mow them
Yes.
in here?
You see that reel right there?
Yeah.
Hang a lawnmower on it and literally just mow them.
How does that work though? If there's water in here, wouldn't it pull it with it as it mows it, or is it?
They're so tight in here.
Oh, really?
They may shift a little, but they don't shift a lot. Because I mean, you're talking about 2,000 trays in here.
Okay, I
Styrofoam
got you.
trays.
So they just float in water.
Floating water, but they're in water, so they're all level. because the water's gonna self-level, right?
Yep. Interesting.
And you mow them every other day, really.
And you said this starts in February, roughly?
February.
Okay. Around Valentine's Day.
Yeah. That's rule of thumb around Valentine's. We're always early.
Okay.
And you want to be ready to go to the field, like I say, April 15th, or
Right.
somewhere around there.
Okay.
Give or
gotcha.
take a week either way. Because you
Gotcha.
want to be putting in by 4th of July, you know.
Mm-hmm.
When the plant beds were ready, you went to back field. We can, to an extent, hold them up here.
Right. So you
know.
have a little wiggle room.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a double layer plastic to create a heat bubble, you know, but it's got heaters on each end, circulation fans.
And how long have y'all had these greenhouses here?
These were built in '89.
89. Okay. So y'all been doing it this way for a while.
I was telling you, I figured it up the other day. With the guy that we sell our peppers to, our fresh market, we call them fresh market peppers. It's just a term we use in-house.
Mm-hmm.
From the day we pick them, it's anywhere from 7 to 10 days before they show up in a grocery store. But if you buy it from me, you're getting it the day it's picked or the day after it's picked. Because we try to keep it fresh at the produce stand. But I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it being 7 to 10 days old either.
Right.
But it's just
Not
not
as
what
fresh.
people think it is. You know,
Right.
if it's 7 to 10 days old and you buy it because you go to the grocery store every Saturday morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
People got a routine, and this is just hypothetical, but they go to the grocery store every Saturday morning and they do their grocery shopping. They buy whatever they're going to cook for the week because, you know, they meal plan. We don't meal plan around our house, but you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
They meal plan. Oh, well, that pepper is 7 days old. Well, they cook it the next Friday night because they have fajitas on Friday night. That pepper is now 13 days old. But there's nothing wrong with it, and it has 0 preservatives on it.
Right. It's just a perception thing.
It's just a perception thing. You go buy something at the grocery store out of a box or a jar. How long has it been in a box or a jar? How long is it going to sit on your shelf?
90% of what you see in those stores, man, I wouldn't buy.
It's just
That's
fresh
just me.
is, I don't know, it's just fresh is the way to go, and I wasn't necessarily one to believe it until I got into it, growing it.
It is. It's kind of going back to where it all started, you know. I think that's a lot of the epidemic that we're seeing in the country of health goes, is that everything's been so mass produced that, you know, I mean, you have to eat. When you don't have a lot of
But
money,
how
man,
do
you have
you
to eat,
feed
right?
the world?
It's hard. You can't, because people don't want to have their own gardens or have their own farms anymore.
No.
And so, you know, easier is better, but then they wonder why they got to go to the doctor, right? You know.
That's what it is. So we were talking about a while ago, the lugs, the cutters, the upper stalk biker, needing to have it out the field and in the barn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Zoom in right here. You see right here,
Yeah.
they broke a sucker out right there. And
Yep.
there's another one actually trying to come in the same spot. But the suckers come on the inner nodes where the leaf meets the main stalk.
Uh-huh.
If you don't spray a chemical to prevent suckers, literally every inner node will have a sucker. Then there's a top here, because it wants to go in the reproductive mode. Flower comes up and makes a seed. You'll break the top out, you'll clean the suckers out. Generally it's done twice to every plant every year.
So you
Sometimes-
still manually sucker them even though they're sprayed, or you do
Still-
not?
You still manually sucker them, still manually top them. Yes, you may run a mechanical topper to get the bulk on, but at some point in time, somebody's gonna come along in here and they're gonna
And
do
put
it
their
by
hands
hand.
on this plant.
On by hand.
Still.
Yep, but here's a sucker right here.
Okay.
So we've had some late season biker worms come in here we had to spray for. They ate the leaves off of it.
Right.
We try to be 22 to 24 leaves per plant.
22 to 24.
22 to 24.
Okay.
All right. And we talked about it earlier. The first 2 leaves,
Yeah.
they've
Lugs,
done
right?
we call them the plant bed leaves. They've already burnt off on it.
All right.
Some people prime them,
When you say burn off, what do you mean?
literally
Just
dried
dried
up on the
Just
plant.
dried up. Okay.
Literally dried up on the plant. but that would have been leaves 3 through 5, 6, something like that, okay?
Okay.
7 maybe. Then you got your cutters. There's gonna be another 2 or 3 leaves on top of that. And everything else, what you call your leaf and tips, they kind of go together.
So the reason you take the leaves off of the bottom is because they dry out quicker.
They're maturing
right?
first.
Maturing first.
From the bottom up because it grew up.
Okay. So when they say they're taking the lugs off, that means that you're getting them out because they need to come off first.
They're the most mature. They're the oldest leaves on the plant. They start to yellow. You start to get them.
And do they get as big as these on the bottom?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Then you get up into your cutters, same thing. They start to yellow because they're the next set of leaves as they yellow. But we were talking about, we were taking out swell stems because we need to get the tobacco in the barn. This rim burn here, sunburn, rim burn, whatever you want to call it, use your own terminology. This tobacco needs to be in the house. It's been in the field long enough. And that's what we're trying to do. Is
does the color of it, I guess when you start seeing it's burning, it's past due, is what you're saying?
Yes, yes.
So
well, it's cooled off now, but the heat from back in...
So you may have already said this, but is it the size or the color that it dictates when you pull it out?
The color.
The color.
We're all about the color. When it starts to yellow, as it's moving up. Now, these are sprayed to make these yellow.
Okay.
The top stalk, the top of the stalk, because it'll rim burn before they ever yellow.
Gotcha.
When it's hot like it was.
Okay.
Now, it will yellow on its own naturally without the rim burn, but later in the season, the more rim burn, the more sunburn you get. But this
so September is the prime season at getting it out of here, right?
Most people like to be done before October rolls on the calendar.
Okay.
Now, not everybody's done. The ones that's got more acres, and
right.
It'll take them on into October.
Okay, so this is a piece of machinery here.
These are granule strippers.
Okay.
It's just another variation of a tobacco primer. We call them granule strippers, or strippers for short. This is not a multi-pass machine like we talked about earlier. They've already been broke down and washed. I can't show them to you if I wanted to.
Okay.
The heads have been took off all of them. They've been cleaned up.
Gotcha.
The multi-pass machines, that is. The tobacco stalk is going to be standing up like this. It's going to pass through here. These bars spin. This one spins in the clockwise. This one spins counterclockwise.
Okay.
It's going to go through here and it's going to literally shave the stalk, the leaves off the stalk, flop them on each belt, and the belt's going to take them up into the dump box.
Okay. So you're just cleaning out the field, basically.
That's it. We're getting everything that's left.
Okay. And then you come back in and flip the root. Is that what you're saying?
Then we'll come back in and flip the root. So this right here, they're stalk cutters. They're just going to spin and they're going to chop the stalk up as it goes through. You see how they kind of chop it up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to chop it up like a lawnmower.
Right.
Then we'll come in here and flip the root out of the ground to prevent disease. The dew's off the tobacco and we're getting started now. We have to wait for the dew to dry up every morning. You don't like to put wet tobacco in the barn.
Right.
It makes it stew in the barn, rot in the barn. And you can see the tobacco going up the belt, and all this going into the dump box on the back of the primer, stripper, however you want to classify it. I'm gonna get him to slow down so we can get a bit. See how the stalk is standing up?
Yeah.
But one of the bars is spinning clockwise, the other spinning counterclockwise. And you'll see how it just throws the tobacco up onto the belt beside it.
Yeah.
But unless that stalk's crooked from the wind or whatever damaging it, that stalk will stand up. The stalk cutter just chops it up. And you see he's already piled up no further than he's been.
And how much acreage here is this plot?
This little field right here, maybe 5 acres in this little field right here.
5 acres, and it's going to take you about 30 minutes with 2 of those running.
30, 45 minutes they'll have it knocked out.
And by hand, how long would that have taken you?
Whew, depends on how many heads you got out here. I mean, that's a short answer, but.
Right. I mean, you talking a day, 2 days?
Oh, no. They still get it in a relatively quick manner, but it would take you, 45, 50 people versus 2 guys on 2 machines.
Right.
All right, so you saw them dump it in the box a while ago.
Okay.
And then just gonna pull up beside the trailer. the tractor can make the man's life in the trailer live in hell if he wants to.
Really?
Or he can make it easy if he wants to. If he'll take his time and listen to him, they'll spill very little.
It look like you're about to knock him down.
If he does what he wants to do, you'll have that.
I can do this. How about that?
Yeah, there you go. ¿Dónde sale el aceite, güey? ¿Dónde está saliendo el aceite? La empaque. Su empaque. ¿Todo? ¿Es todo o quiere más? They come to the field as soon as it dries off. I mean, you were here a while ago and it was a little bit damp still. We waited for them to get started. And they come get started when it dries off. They're still taking out at home.
Okay.
That way we got a stockpile of trailers.
Coming and they're getting
When
ready.
they
to
get done taking out, we got a stockpile of trailers there ready for them to go because they'll catch these biker primers, believe it or not.
Really?
Yes. Every 3 minutes at the house, they're kicking a box off the rail.
Wow. So how long do they stay in the barn again?
8 days.
8 days.
Typical
okay.
rule, 8 days.
Okay.
You can push them to 7. Sometimes you have to hold them to 9 if it's.
And there you go. That's how it's done, huh?
There she is, going to the house. That bike will go to the house and it'll back right up to the loading system, and it'll go straight in the box. It won't be in a trailer. No longer than it takes to drive to the shop. And then, so it'll hold a little bit longer because we're stockpiling while they're still taking out. But it takes 8 days to cure it. I mean, I guess that's where you get the long process from. But then again,
Right. Well, I just mean from a seed to all that.
it'll take them an hour to take a barn of bike out, 45 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, I was just meaning in like in
Oh,
terms
from start
of
to finish,
yeah.
we started in February and it's
Yeah.
13th of September, and we're still doing it, you know.
Yeah. How many more years you think you'll be at it doing this? Tobacco.
As long as I can afford it.
Yeah.
You know, as long as it's here, there's demand for it.
Yeah.
And it's all overseas demand, it's not domestic demand. Well, there's domestic demand, but just not what it used to be.
Right.
You know, when you lose 3 or 4 or 5% usage every year
That's a lot.
over the last 20 years, I mean, how much have you lost? Yep, told you we had biker worms.
There it is. There he is. You don't want none of them.
And we get them late season because there's really no good control for them that doesn't have a pre-harvest interval. So chemicals have a pre-harvest interval, number of days from the day you spray till you can harvest it. I mean, you asked me to do this. If I can't be an advocate, not an advocate, but an advocate for what I do, ain't nobody gonna be one for me. You know, I got to defend what we do. We got such a negative stereotype, and it ain't just tobacco that has a negative stereotype. It's everything that we do has got a negative stereotype. Man can't get a volume out of organic. Not enough to feed the world. You got to have GMO. Any way you shake a stick at it. I tried some non-GMO corn this time. Straight corn, no nothing to it.
Right.
And it's gonna pick a third of what my GMO corn's gonna be. We're losing farmland every day to urban development. every day. Rural development, urban development, whatever you want to call it. Subdivisions popping up all over the country. We're losing farmland, and you want to do it with non-GMOs, getting a third of the crop off of it. It's not.
So you're just saying that
The word they want is sustainable farming. Non-GMO is not sustainable farming.
it would take everybody being in farming for themselves to be able to feed themselves.
Yes, it'd go right back to what it was in the 20s and 30s when you raised what your family ate.
In other words, there ain't no going to the store and getting stuff.
Not if you do it non-GMO. Absolutely not. I had a little boy yesterday rode in the
It all sounds good, right?
Oh yeah, it sounds
It
great,
sound-
and it's all marketing. All marketing. I had a little boy yesterday. I was picking across from the local elementary school. His daddy called me. He said, "I want to ride." And look, his little boy wants to ride. I was like, "Come on, I'm gonna let a youngin' ride in the tractor. You know, you need to teach him at a young age." This little kid's in 2nd grade, so he's what, 6, 7 years old, 8 maybe, somewhere in that range. He said, "Is this sweet corn?" No, that's not sweet corn. It's field corn. Well, why does it look different than the sweet corn? Because it's not sweet corn. And I got to explain it to him. Sweet corn we eat. This corn we're going to feed to the chickens and the hogs.
Right,
And we're going to feed it to the cows. You know, they cut it for silage for dairy cows.
right.
And most people stop right there and say, okay, well, you feed chickens and hogs with it. Well, I mean, chickens is where your eggs come from, your chicken nuggets, your chicken sandwiches, your fried chicken. You get your pigs, your bacon, your sausage, pork chops, you know, ribs. But then you go to the cow. Well, hell, here we go with the cow now. It ain't just hamburger and steak. Where's the cheese come from?
Milk.
Where's your milk? Where's your ice cream come from?
Oh, it's all connected.
It's all got to be fed. And it's all fed from right here. I told you we'd catch up with these trailers.
Yeah, we did.
Saw it get loaded in the field. Now all they're going to do is unload it, and it's literally just going one conveyor belt to the next.
Okay. What's the flipping up there doing?
That paddle up there is thinning it out, so only a certain level of thickness goes
So
through.
they don't go through a clump.
The first one's breaking up wads. The second one's breaking up wads also, but it also making a flat level, equal amount. All right.
Let's go over there and get some of that.
He's got a set of scales he's watching,
Okay.
so that every bale weighs the same. Now they do have them made by the same company that the baler's made by, where it's automatic.
Yeah.
And like I say, it's just making an even layer.
Yeah.
The box is moving back and forth, and it's just dumping it in there, trying to be as even as possible.
Okay.
The other system is made by gravel that makes the baler over here. The box is stationary and they have another conveyor that moves back and forth. It's just two different options.
That makes it efficient, right?
The other one's automatic, so when it gets to a certain weight, it stops.
How quickly can they do one trailer load? I guess a matter of minutes, huh?
The trailer's 2.5 boxes. They roll it all. They gotta stop working. 3 minutes, there'll be a new box coming on. Alright, so you got this wire right here, right? We call it a screen.
Yeah.
Alright. That's going to help support the weight of the rods. So that when we stand the box up, it won't fall out the bottom, won't be in the rods. I'll tell you what I'm talking about, the rod, peg, whatever you want to call it. When it gets to 1,000 pounds, they're going to flip that screen. They're going to put more on top of it.
So how much approximately does that weigh green going in? Does it lose weight? Obviously, does it dehydrate?
Should be about 2,200 pounds. I think is what he's putting in there. Per box. Times 8.
Okay.
Alright. But you're going to take that, so it's what, 17.6 of green tobacco. When you take it out, you're going to take out 3,000, 3,200 pounds. But this is the bodiest tobacco we take out. The lower the cutters are thinner than this, and the loads are even thinner than the cutters as far as thickness of the leaf. Alright, all we did was walk down here to the spawns. They're gonna pick it up with a chain horse. There's a door on the bottom and the top. They're gonna shut it right here in just a second. Top lid always shuts first. That's the pegs I was talking about.
Right.
And it's going through the screen that they flip while it goes, so that when they stand it up, all the tobacco won't fall out the bottom, but the screen helps support the weight of the peg, so it don't blow in me.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
And how quick was that? 60 seconds.
A lot quicker putting it in like that.
Take the chain horse longer than. Take the chain horse longer to stand it up and get it on the rail.
Yeah. Daggone, yeah, man. Changed the whole lot. That's human evolution though, man. You learn to figure out what works better and save time and
Work smarter, not harder, right?
That's right. That's right. And that just trucks in there and then that's it. Wow.
Well, you can see right here inside the barn. This particular barn, 8 of these boxes fit in here. We have some that hold 10. There's some by different companies that hold all different numbers.
Okay.
And there's nothing but ambient air blowing right now.
Okay.
Whatever the outside temperature is what's going
What's
through the
blowing
barn.
through it.
It'll
Okay.
stay that way until this evening when he lights the barn. And then it'll gradually increase in temperature over the days.
Is there a reason for doing it that way?
Set the yellow and then dry the scoop.
Okay.
It's a process of getting it to yellow to where you want it and then drying the leaves.
Okay.
If you do it wrong, it could be green and not got yellow enough, or it could go dark because you yellowed it too long. Fine line. Green tobacco don't sell and dark tobacco don't sell well.
Yeah, it's an art, isn't it?
A lost art.
Yeah.
Enjoyed having you though, really. Seriously.
Yeah, man.
I
Appreciate
mean,
you.
Like I told you earlier, if I can't be an advocate, there's no need for me to do this.
Right. No, I'm glad I found someone that has as much knowledge on it as you do, because obviously I didn't have a whole lot. I knew more than the
You
average
don't
Joe
know
probably,
if you don't
but
ask.
that's right. That's what it's all about.
But I mean, we get this out hopefully to the world to see. You know, we're
Yeah.
a family farm right here.
Yeah. Do you have like a website or like a anything that can promote your direct to consumer produce?
My wife handles our Facebook. Garden of Family Farms on Facebook.
I can put that in the description
That'll
there
be
for
fine.
you. So if you're watching, I can
That'll be
add
fine.
that so you guys look out for that.
That'll work. Yep.
Maybe that'll get you a little extra business.
I don't even have Facebook, so I couldn't tell you. I don't know how it works. I know she handles it. I send her pictures. She puts it up there.
Right. Well, I appreciate it, brother.
I appreciate
Nice
it.
getting
Good
to know
talking
you,
to you.
man.
Nice to meet you. I'm
You
glad
too,
you
bro.
called.